Emergencies can happen anywhere, at any time. Sometimes there is ample warning of a life-threatening condition, broadcast bulletins, weather or severe storm warnings, or tornado watches and warnings. At other times, disaster can strike quickly with tragic results. This program will act as a guide for all General Office employees to follow in case of an emergency. The General Office building, because of its large size and the large number of employees who work within it, requires a specific emergency plan. Let's take a look at the kinds of emergency actions we must take in the event of a tornado, severe storm, fire, or bomb threat. The incidence of tornadoes in the San Angelo vicinity is relatively low. However, that does not mean that preparation is unnecessary. In the event a tornado should appear, the basement of the General Office is the safest place for GO employees. This area has been thoroughly checked for all safety standards, such as air supply, recommended capacity, structural stability, exits, and alternative exits. The procedure for an emergency of this nature is as follows. Initially, an announcement will be made over the public address system, advising all employees to move to the basement using the stairs. Never use the elevators in a situation like this. There is always the possibility of a power failure during severe storms, in which case the elevators will be rendered inoperable. Order should be maintained as employees move down the stairs to the basement. Remember to be courteous and to assist other employees if they should need or desire it. Remember also to remove any shoes which might present a hazard when descending the stairwell. Once inside the basement, move away from the stairs and as far as possible toward the back of the basement to make room for other employees. Again, if a tornado should occur, remember these common sense rules. Stay away from windows. Use interior stairwells only. Do not use the elevators. Remain calm and maintain order. Check work areas for stragglers. Basement space is limited to standing room only, so remain calm and do not panic. Finally, do not leave the building. You will be safer inside. Another area of concern is, of course, the threat of fire. The General Office building is equipped with a fire detection and alarm system designed specifically for the General Office with your safety in mind. Detectors are placed at about 30-foot intervals throughout the building, along with manual pull fire alarm boxes. If two detector heads sense smoke, or if a fire alarm box is activated, 5 different actions are initiated automatically. First, the fire department is signaled. An evacuation announcement is made over the public address system on the affected floors. All fire doors will be closed. Air exhaust handlers are activated, making stairwells safe for evacuation. Elevators will be automatically brought to the lobby, doors opened, and the elevators themselves deactivated. Emergency coordinators have been appointed for each area to oversee an evacuation and to administer the plan with special arrangements for handicapped employees. The coordinators have appointed group fire marshals, room searchers, and exit guards to assist all employees in an evacuation. If there is a fire, every area of the building will be checked to ensure that everyone is alerted. In order to evacuate every employee in the shortest possible time, it has been determined that certain departments in the General Office should leave the building through certain exits. In order to communicate this information to our employees, evacuation diagrams of the General Office are posted in convenient locations. Additionally, each exit has assigned to it a specific assembly area. Remember also, exit routes and assembly areas are to be used for evacuation from the building for any reason, including, for example, a bomb threat. During an emergency, every employee must exit his or her workplace as quickly as possible. Additionally, each employee must proceed to a pre-assigned assembly area to wait for re-entry instructions. Only after the all clear signal is given should employees begin to return to their work areas. Here are some more emergency action steps employees need to be aware of if a fire should occur. The evacuation signal will consist of verbal instructions. No buzzers or bells will sound. Evacuate immediately using your assigned or nearest exit. If you encounter smoke, take short breaths, breathing through your nose, and crawl along the floor to the nearest exit. Feel all doors before opening them. If the door feels hot, do not open it. If it is cool, open it slowly, keeping behind the door. Remove any type of shoe which could make descending stairs hazardous. Once you are outside the building, go to your assigned assembly area until you are advised to re-enter the building. Do not congregate near the building exit or driveways. Do not attempt to move your personal car. Each parking lot will be filled with your fellow employees, and vehicle movement could possibly cause injury or hamper firefighting efforts. If you should see a fire, flames, or smoke, sound the alarm first. Do this by going to the nearest fire alarm manual pull station on the floor and pull down on the handle. This will activate the alarm system and notify the fire department. Do not attempt to fight the fire by yourself. Remember, notify the fire department first before attempting to extinguish any fire. It is further recommended that only trained employees should attempt to extinguish a fire or assist with any type of firefighting until the fire department arrives. Remember, at no time should you, as an employee, risk bodily harm or endanger yourself to fight a fire. With regard to this warning, let's now review the types of fire extinguishers that can be found in the general office. A pressurized water extinguisher can be used on fires that involve paper or fabric. These extinguishers weigh about 40 pounds and are wall-mounted. Carbon dioxide extinguishers are used for electrical fires and are located near copy machines, in equipment rooms, in boiler rooms, and near other machinery. ABC fire extinguishers can be used for almost any type of fire. All three types of fire extinguishers can be operated in a similar manner, so for demonstration purposes, we will extinguish a paper fire. Here are some steps. Your first step should be to grasp the fire extinguisher by its carrying handle, lift the extinguisher out of its wall-mounted bracket, and carry it to the site of the fire. With a quick motion, jerk the pull pin from its seated position, making it possible to depress the top lever. Point the nozzle at the base of the flames. Activate the stream by pressing downward on the top lever. Put out the fire using a sweeping motion, aiming at the base of the flame. Fire extinguishers are most often used for small fires. An example might be a trash can that has ignited. Again, remember, at no time should you, as an employee, take unnecessary risks in attempting to contain a fire. Earlier in the program, we mentioned that an emergency evacuation of the general office building could occur for a number of reasons, including the possibility of a bomb threat. Bomb threats are usually received over the telephone from an anonymous caller who, in some cases, will give the general location of the reported bomb and the time it is set to explode. If you should receive a bomb threat directly, an effort should be made to keep the caller on the line for as long as possible. This will not only gain time to allow for a possible trace of the call, but will also allow the receiver of the call to gather as much information as possible from the caller. If possible, take down some quick notes concerning the bomb threat. These might include the time of the call, date, the number the call came in on, and possibly the wording of the threat. Additionally, ask some questions of the caller. Here are some examples. When will the bomb go off? Where is it located? Who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from? What kind of bomb is it, and what does it look like? Make some notes on the voice description of the caller. Examples include the sex of the caller, the possible age of the caller, and any noticeable accent or unusual background noises. Your next step should be to immediately contact your supervisor, who will then consult with company officials as well as law enforcement personnel. From this point on, all you can do is to wait for further instructions, either from company officials or from arriving police or other law enforcement authorities. As an employee, you are more familiar with your work area than non-employees, so you may be asked to check for any suspicious or strange packages, briefcases, or parcels. If you should discover a strange or suspicious-looking item, above all, don't try to pick up, move, or open it. Instead, contact your supervisor immediately and wait for instructions. Company officials will determine whether a partial or full evacuation of the building is necessary. If the decision is made to evacuate your floor, you will be notified either by your supervisor or by the emergency evacuation system. The procedure to be followed, if an evacuation is deemed necessary, will be based on each particular circumstance. Evacuation instructions will be given to you by your supervisor or by the emergency evacuation system. Of course, it is hoped that an emergency situation will never occur, but we must always be prepared for any possibility. Here is a good exercise you might think about as you go about your daily business. At some point during the day, stop and think about where you are in the building, what floor you are on, or what part of the building you are located in. Next, try to locate the nearest exit, the nearest fire extinguisher, an alternate exit, and your destination area. These exercises will help you should an actual emergency occur. In addition to this program, there are written instructions regarding the operation of fire extinguishers and evacuation procedures. These instructions are available from the Safety Department. If you have any questions about the Emergency Action Plan or any safety-related question, please contact the Safety Department or a Safety Committee representative.